We are going to talk about the big controversial announcement,
Doomsday.
Not to be confused with
Doomsday.
Doomsday. We got a cryptic teaser last Sunday. It was counting down. It had some like dubstep in the background.
What did you actually think it was going to be?
Not much.
Really?
No, not much early on.
Why?
Well, I thought it doesn't sound like mainstream Doctor Who. No, mainstream Doctor Who's not going to be dubstep. I thought pretty quick it's probably going to be like Big Finish, expanded media related.
Yeah. Which we've been told we're getting quite a bit this year, so...
The only thing, and maybe this was dumb and naive of me, but the only thing that I did think was the clock stops at 11 quite blatantly, and I was like, maybe it is a Matt Smith announcement. Okay. I didn't think so, but I was like, maybe. Following day, we were given more information and a trailer. An amazing trailer. Yeah. A fantastic trailer. It was so
good, man.
It's my favourite thing ever.
I've rewatched it heaps.
And what a way to start an era.
I'll tell you what the concept is. It's a pain in my ass. Alright? That's what it is.
That's not explaining it, Connor.
I'm getting there. So it's set over 24 hours.
Yes.
Okay? And it's like 24 different pieces of media, but the media is going to be like extended over different platforms such as comics, books, audio. This is just annoying, okay? I'm going to be completely real with you. This really like rubbed me the wrong way. Again, I made a tweet about this saying like, you know, God bless to everyone involved, wish them the best, but for me, it was just a misfire.
I couldn't, for some reason, this announcement is literally evading me. Like, no matter what I type in on Google, I cannot find this announcement.
Well, that's the thing. That's the biggest problem, because when Aiden then just typed in Doomsday Doctor Who, of course, Doomsday pops up.
Yeah, literally. And it kept like auto-correcting to Doomsday.
That's such a L on the BBC's part.
Posted on Twitter, what are your thoughts on Doomsday? The multi-platform event.
Not to be mistaken with season 2 final.
I know, you've got to like clarify, right? I know it's spelt different, but geez. And I put up there as the options, love this kind of stuff, I might buy one or two, or it's a no from me. It's a no from me got 64% of the votes.
Yeah, wow.
Only 5% of these 42 people said, I love this kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
That's literally like
That's what I mean.
2 or 3
That's
people.
what I mean. Like, it's not really got the kind of reception I think they are, we're looking for. To me, I think they instantly set themselves up for failure and shot themselves in the foot for a few reasons. Number one, they hyped it up massively.
I didn't really have a problem with like the countdown thing.
Yeah, but that's the problem though, Aiden. Like, everyone on Twitter just goes fucking nuts.
It's
right?
Twitter, mate.
And we're like in this space now where I just wish they would have like given us a little bit of a heads up. Like it's not going to be like it's a multi-platform thing. Find out more tomorrow.
Yeah,
because people just went nuts and like you said, like, you know, thought it was like a Matt Smith announcement. But like you can't. I don't think you can blame the audience for being like upset. I mean, like, you know, it's called Doomsday for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
people first over Doomsday with the whole David and Rose relationship. They were expecting something to do with that. A lot of people were, at least.
Yeah.
Or like a connection to it or something like that. They kind of just like shot themselves in the foot. And yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie. I watched the trailer. I went in trying to give it the time of day. Mm-hmm. I left feeling really confused and quite disappointed. I don't know. I don't want to be negative, but I just feel like it just kind of sucked. It just left a really bad taste in my mouth. I don't know. It starts with like, I'm the world's greatest assassin. And by the way, I think that's like satire. It's gotta be, because if it isn't, it's like, come on, like, what's going on? I don't get what they're going for. And you made a good point. It's like, you know, you got to be like a millionaire to follow this whole story. Yeah, it's so convoluted and hard to follow.
And I don't want to pass judgment on a lot of it yet, because it's obviously not been released.
Yeah. And
so we don't actually know. And it's a lot of familiar writers on there that have done great Doctor Who spin-off stuff in the past. It's, yes, a massive cash thing. Oh, you've got to collect them all, right?
All 24, yeah.
All 24. I like the concept of these big media events where you're jumping from one thing to another. I think there is like a thing where it's like a definite big money thing, but I don't hate it as the concept. The story that they've given us where Doom is about to...
Death is coming after her.
If she doesn't like meet the Doctor or something, so she's trying to meet the Doctor and she's the world's deadliest assassin. Sure, that's fine. Does that justify a 24-part multi-platform series? Probably not. I think it's like a good idea for a one standalone episode. Once again, my proper judgment, I'll pass on that for now because we've not seen how it plays out. But the big thing for me is at the moment, Doctor Who is at this place, and I've said this a few times on the podcast, I compare it a lot to where it was in the late 80s, where it turned into that little sci-fi show, and I like 80s Who, but to the general public, it turned into this little sci-fi show that had like terrible budgets and they couldn't do a lot, and it was the cringe sci-fi show that you're an absolute nerd if you watch. Mm-hmm. I think Jodie's era, whilst I'm not saying it didn't have good viewing figures or anything, but the table conversations you have with your extended family and stuff like that, that is what it has become. People
absolutely.
don't really watch a lot of people don't watch Doctor Who anymore, and it's a little bit more in that nerd category if you do. And that's fine, and this is not criticism of Chib's era at all. But what it's a criticism of is that Russell is clearly trying to make Doctor Who sexy again. All right, jumping onto Disney, the casting, everything about it is it's very modern, it's very fresh. And the first thing, yes, we got a trailer on Christmas Eve, sure, or Christmas Day, but the first thing that so many people see of this era is this thing that looks significantly worse than anything we've seen in Doctor Who before, just in terms of production value. And like, yes, I don't think the script of the trailer was good. I don't think the costume design was bought from Red Dot, I'm sure.
Red Dot.
I think you can't start. I think this was a terrible decision. Like, I generally think this trailer was the worst thing they could have done. I know it's a big negative statement, but that's how I sit with it.
I was going to say, to what extent has Russell been a part of it though?
That's what's...
was it in the works before?
She said on Twitter that she's known about it since November.
Okay, all right. Oh, so I don't know. Oy.
I'd be more interested if it tied into the show. There's also the argument of like...
What Doctor is it going to be?
Well, we're always like...
She's looking for the Doc, so is it like the 14th?
We always want more characters, more original characters. Everyone's always out there going, we want the new Captain Jack. This thing, they're like, oh, it's to celebrate 60 years. And I'm like, is it? Because it's like... Nothing in the trailer gave me celebrating 60 years vibe. Nothing in any of the press release. Yes, she's going to bump into a few of the doctors along the way.
There's a vortex manipulator, Aiden.
Oh my god, so cool. I wish that this multi-platform event was based off of what the main Big Finish thing for the 60th, which is a big series called Once and Future. I'll be honest, probably not going to listen to it because it costs $1 billion to buy as well. The idea of like a 60th anniversary multi-platform event that jumps from multiple doctors in different mediums, that sounds more interesting to me as a way to celebrate the 60th in expanded media than Doom. And I know that's kind of stupid because it's like, yes, we want more original characters. I just don't think this was the right way to do this thing.
You had something like Redacted, which was free. All you had to do was download the BBC Sounds app. It was amazing. And it's like completely new rise for season 2. It's like everyone loved that. Yeah. So we're not out here hating, saying like, we hate every single kind of like new idea. And it's like, no, it's not like that. We loved Redacted. I didn't hear anyone who didn't like Redacted, and it was free. I think the problem is, it's like, you're right, it's a cash grab. And we've also got to think, I messaged you about this. I don't know if we like kind of disagreed on this point, but I said to you, like, this is Disney's new show. Like, they got to go out there and promote this thing and make Doctor Who, like you said, like, you know, look sexy again. Yes. This is their new product. This is their new face that's going to be a part of the Disney Plus platform, why people will subscribe each month to their service, which is a huge part where they get their revenue from as a company. To what extent, I wonder, do the people at Disney have with stuff like this, which you're right, do make the show look like a bit of a laughing stock? Because if I saw that trailer from like an outsider's perspective as like someone who isn't a fan, I'd be like, what on God's green earth is this? It's
such a pivotal time in terms of redeeming Doctor Who in the general public. Suze Kempner is who's playing Doom, by the way. I finally found it.
Yeah, God bless, you know.
She seems to have a fantastic political stance, and I know she's got some great views in terms of like a big advocate for trans rights and things like that. But I wasn't sold yet on the performance in there, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Because you don't get any deadly assassin vibes from her at all. I also think the 24 hours concept is done and dusted a million times before. There's literally a show called 24 that did the exact same thing. Like, it has been done a million times before.
As like just a consumer that can just like spit out all this money when it's like, hang on a minute, like, you know, we all work hard every day. Like, what are you really giving me that makes me want to go out and spend my hard-earned dough? It's like you're already doing all these Big Finish like audios, which is going to cost you an arm and a leg if you want to download, and if you do, that's great. But it's like, that hasn't enticed me yet.
There's a certain element of brand cohesiveness, and when you're trying to sell this new era of Doctor Who as this sexy version of Doctor Who, it looks sleek, it looks like a big Marvel budget, and they keep saying that in all the press releases they do, to then release this.
Yeah, shit this out.
Put it this way, Star Wars, which makes a variety of different things, and yes, sometimes the VFX are better or worse, you've never got this from Star Wars. You know, something in Star Wars, hit and miss. You've never got this thing that looks like genuinely, and I'm trying not to be a dick here, but fans could do a better job at this.
Well, they could have.
In both costuming and VFX.
That's the sad bit.
And that's and I know it's like there probably wasn't much money into it, and then it's hard to sort of counteract that, because if there's not money, there's not time to be put into it. But then it's also like, if you're not putting money into this big promo, do you really care about what you're making, or are you just making the material to make money?
It's hard. Like, Doctor Who fans, like people like us and like our friends who watch the show, we're loyal. Like, we stick with the show no matter what. And this kind of, unfortunately, kind of felt like they were just kind of taking the piss out of the fans a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's just the kind of vibe I got from it. It was like, you know, you're right. It's like, kind of just like, shit this out. It's like, who cares? But it's like, you know, we do
Don't
care.
mind me whilst I take a big dump.
Yeah, it's like, but we do care. It's like, and we do notice that stuff, and we do want better quality, and that's what we've been saying for the last couple of years. And, you know, I am sick of sitting down and saying I'm a Doctor Who fan, and everyone goes, oh, I watched, you know, David Tennant. I've heard that 1,000 times, you know, and it's like, and then I stopped. Great.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's actually work on this. I don't know. I feel like they were making so many great decisions. I felt like they were handling the marketing really well. I think Russell's been great on socials. And then this, to me, was like quite a few steps back.
It really was.
BBC, Russell, and Disney need to all come together about and think about how this kind of stuff affects the show as a product, as a brand. Because stuff like that just makes it look like shit. These are people's jobs. And I think we all do stuff in our own jobs sometimes we need to be called out for, and that's understandable when we kind of take it on the chin. You're like, yeah, you're right. Maybe I should be doing this a bit better. I don't know. I just hope that this is maybe just a small blip in the run to the 60th.
I think it is.
I agree. I think until now, I think they've been doing a great job.
I think it'll be like November, and we're watching the 60th, and we're loving it, and we're like, ha ha ha.
Well, what Doom
Remember
rocks
that
up?
Doomsday thing? Doom isn't going to rock up, because Doom was
sure?
cast in November.
Yeah, but come on.
60th was shot in July, mate.
Mate, they can do reshoots.
They're not, nah. And that for me is
Hi,
like
I'm
another...
Doom. How you doing, guys? It's me, yo.
If Doom was going to be involved in some stuff, then I'd be far more interested. But the fact that she's not, it's just like a less interesting version of Time Lord Victorious, right? Because at least Time Lord Victorious was like about an interesting part of the 10th Doctor's run. This just is not.
Doom will rock up in the 60th, and you'll only understand why she's there if you've watched all 24 parts of... I mean, she said she has to interact with some kind of doctor, and I don't know whose it's going to be, and if you are interested in that, please feel free to go and enjoy this multi-platform story. Don't let anyone tell you it's shit.
Exactly.
But if you think it's shit, then be respectful, but also don't DM what's her name on Instagram and tell her she's shit, because it's like, shut up. Like,
yeah, and she seems like a good person, so it's
literally
not like...
grow up. Like, don't do that kind of thing. You're a twat if you do that.
Our situation right now is like, we want more Doctor Who, and then they give us more Doctor Who, and we're like, not that Doctor Who. We don't want that one.
Put it back in. I ain't done yet.
Give us another one.
I'm saying let them cook, and I'm like, it's still raw. Let them still cook. You know, I'm letting you cook. Just it's escapism, isn't it? End of the day. And when I come home from a long day at work, I ain't gonna keep my fucking feet up and listen to Doomsday. I'm sorry.
Hey guys, I'm the deadliest assassin.
I'm in my bed like,
yes.
Fucking God, I love this shit.
With her costume. It does look like it was bought from Red Dot, right?
Yeah, Red Dot's a bit of a niche reference.
Okay, it looks like it was bought from...
Poundland.
That's a good one.
Poundland, which is pretty much our Red Dot.